what was the black hole tragedy incident? पूरा सिलसिला पता है क्या? Tensions were growing between the English East India Company and the new Nawab of Bengal. New Nawab of Bengal का नाम Siraj-ud-Daula. Why were such conditions tense? Because of two important issues. One immediate issue and one long-term irritant in the relationship. What was the long-term irritant? Misuse of dastaks. Dastaks पता है ना क्या है? What were they? Duty-free trade passes issued by the Calcutta Council of the East India Company on the basis of a royal farman granted in 1717 by the Mughal Emperor Farooq Sir. Duty-free trade passes का misuse हो रहा था. How? Yeah, the company officials were using it for conducting their private trade, or even more harmfully, they were selling it off to Indian counterparts. So it was resulting in a huge loss to the Bengal treasury. So that was the long-term irritant. The immediate factor behind the black hole tragedy became the additional fortifications done by the English East India Company at Calcutta. Now, this was done in 1756. A new war had started between which European powers? The British and the French. Which war? The Third Carnatic War had started in 1756. Now, both the British as well as the French had made additional fortifications of their factories at Calcutta and Chandarnagar within Bengal respectively. Now, fortification was a sovereign power, and the Nawab of Bengal felt that these companies were violating his sovereign authority by making additional fortifications. Initially, he sent a warning to both sides. The French complied, they tore down the additional fortifications. British ignored the request. Instead of giving them a second warning, the Nawab attacked Calcutta, captured it, imprisoned a large number of Englishmen and forced the rest to escape. They escaped to a riverine island in the Hooghly known as Fulta and took refuge over there. What happened to the captors of the Nawab? That was described by an Englishman who was a survivor, or at least claimed to be a survivor of this black hole tragedy. क्या नाम था इसका? John Zephaniah Holwell. क्या बताया इसने? Did he paint a rosy picture of the Nawab? Did he praise his character? नहीं, बोला कि मारा कम घसीटा ज्यादा है इसने, राइट? एंड साथ में क्या करा? He trapped all of us, roughly 145 people, in a 22 by 22 feet kal coterie in the month of July in the muggy heat of Calcutta, where there was single window. What happened? Overnight, one after the other, the Englishmen, men and women, both started to die. This Zephaniah Holwell somehow survived, and he went to Fulta, took refuge over there with the other residents, and when Clive came back, he told this story to Clive. And in the English press, this news became a sensation. Why? Because by this point of time, Clive had already completed the conspiracy against the Nawab and overthrown him. He had installed a new puppet ruler, Mir Jafar, on the throne. Now, this act of Clive had to be somehow justified in the eyes of the British public opinion. So, presently, most historians believe that either the story of the black hole tragedy is totally manufactured, or if not totally manufactured, at least it is greatly exaggerated. So maximum 4-5 लोग मरे होंगे, इन्होंने बोला कि सैकड़ों लोग मर गए, right? So that was done in order to create a sense of outrage to justify Clive's actions in Bengal. ठीक है?